Okay, I think we're live streaming. Is it official? Is it official? Look, I already made the graphic and everything. The Sharks won their road opener tonight. 2-0 this season. How many of you saw that coming, honestly? Just enjoy the music here as I turn it up a little bit in the headphones. Streaming live here on YouTube. We just watched the game. We just did the post-game show. I've got a couple more thoughts to add to this conversation. And convincing wins, right? Like, to go down against Winnipeg 0-2, to get the next 4, like, that was a statement, the way that win played out. And then tonight, to score in every period, to blank Montreal. And I know they've had their scoring issues, right? Like, 3 goals now for them in 4 games. Nothing to write home about. But if you're the Sharks, these are traps that you would have got into the last couple years, the last 2-3 years. You would have lost these games to the Jets, right? You're down 0-2. It unravels from there. Going up against a team tonight like Montreal, they were 0-3. You know, this was the game where they find themselves, they get themselves right. Instead, the Sharks controlled the narrative. They controlled this game. They scored early. They scored often. I thought it was Timo Meier with the first goal of the night. Turns out, went off Jonathan Dahlen. Congratulations to him. Fastest Shark to get his first 2 NHL goals in the career. How am I saying? It's hard to say. Fastest to 2 goals in his NHL career of any Shark. That's probably what I was trying to say. 1:22 into the game. And then 3:36 is when he thought, he knew he scored this one for sure. As Curtis Brown reminded me, he probably had a pretty good idea that the first one was his, whether he'd get credit for it or not. But he definitely got the second one off the Couture rebound. So 2 goals within 3:36. And now you're looking at Dahlen, you're looking at William Eklund, you're looking at Jasper Weatherby. 3 young players that have done something individually each of these 2 games. And for Eklund tonight, another assist. So that's now every single game he's put on a Sharks jersey, including the preseason, he scored a point. At some juncture, like that streak's going to end, but my goodness, I know that doesn't mean it's going to be this way all 82 games, but what a pretty convincing start to the NHL career. I'm just here to say that this confidence, this success early, this breeds something, right, down the line. This is going to pay off at some point, more than it's even rewarding him right now. Weatherby tonight, how about this? And didn't get to contribute the goal like he had last game, but still won 6 out of 8 draws. That was the best Shark face-off performance. And then obviously Dahlen's 2 goals. So all of that, right? And we could talk about scoring in every period, scoring 2 more power play goals. My goodness, there's so many conversations here. But the 0 on the other side of the scoreboard has got to be documented. Adin Hill let up 2 quick ones last game, right? Allowed 2 goals in the first 21 minutes. And then after that, remained pretty rock solid till the very end. He flirted with 2 or fewer last time. And then tonight, he gets it decidedly, shutting out the Habs. His 4th NHL shutout on the career, and obviously his first of this season. And it's not to say that, he was tested at points, maybe not as often as Montreal could or should have, benefited from a post or 2, but the overall theme of Adin Hill in his first 2 games and starts is you can see him settling in. You can see a comfort, you can see a confidence. These are all tremendous trends to be witnessing, early on here in his time with the Sharks. Tonight for Adin Hill, by the way, only his 43rd NHL start. And that kind of brings up a whole, different topic is we haven't even seen James Reimer yet, right? Like, this is half of a brand new goaltending tandem for the team. Everybody's excited about Adin Hill. They should be. Look what he's done so far, but not even close to seeing James Reimer yet. You will here on this road trip because they're about to play 3 games in 4 nights. And this is a tough trip. It's tough to play just 1 home game, then now go on the road for 5. Again, I'm not setting excuses up down the road. I'm just saying, man, if you can do well on this thing, it really deserves some attention and some recognition. And like I said tonight on television, I think it was first intermission, when they were up 3-0, raise your hand if you thought this is how the first 4 periods of Sharks hockey would go. I mean, if they have been the better team like tonight, I think they were all 3 periods. And against Winnipeg, if maybe they were, the better team for the final 2 periods. So that's 5 out of 6 periods they've been the better team. Out of all the 6-period sequences last year, even in just 56 games, how many times were they the better team for 6 or 5 out of 6? Like once or twice, not often enough by any means. By the way, I think at some point here, I will get into taking some questions and comments. Maybe not entirely yet. Maybe it doesn't even look like that's working. Apparently it's not working. All right, Brazil, maybe you will not be doing that. Wait, let me try this one more time. Curious why this didn't work. Guess it doesn't like me. You don't want to see that. You don't want to see pitch black. All right, well, sorry. I may have to read some of the comments if we get there. So 2 power play goals again tonight. Let's have that conversation. The Sharks were 29th out of 31 teams last year in the league on the man advantage. It's clearly an area that they wanted to improve on and not just, get the end result and get the conversions. Like last year, they weren't even gaining momentum on power plays. A lot of times they weren't even getting shots off. And what you're seeing this year is them utilize a little bit more time and space. They're taking simple shots. They're looking for rebounds and tips. It's not highlight reel, tic-tac-toe material. And to be honest, that's perfectly fine. In fact, that's probably preferred the way things have gone here this season. So what if you're not making 6 passes before the shot and you're trying for the perfect shot? Just shoot. See what happens. If you're Timo Meier tonight and you've got some time and space and you got a little, seeing room on the blocker side, go for it. Kevin LeBanc fired off a one-timer tonight on the power play. Love to see it from the left dot. I love the simple approach on the man advantage. And again, I'm not saying a power play goal is going to happen for them even every game. But man, last year at all, did they ever have 4 power play goals in 2 games, in a 2-game span? And big picture, we're talking about all these fine details. Let's go back up to 35,000 feet for a second. The expectations of this team this year coming in, not extremely high, but to have a statement on opening night, everybody's excited by that. We see some new trends. We see some encouragement. And then to build on that tonight, it makes you excited already for the next game and the one after that. And there will be some speed bumps along the way. There will be times that they'll take a step back, but to take another 2 steps forward in the next game, just to show you that this team is capable of it. Tonight's game didn't need necessarily the physical factor, but you kind of started to see it when they were going after Karlsson a little bit. Was that in the first period? And then Montreal was just chasing it the rest of the way. This team is also, it seems like they're getting pucks back out to the point a lot more this year. Their offense is flowing through that's how Karlsson got his goal tonight. And again, a simple play, just shoot towards the net. It actually went off a Montreal defender. And the same thing with Brent Burns' assist on what was Dahlin's first goal. It's actually tipped first by Timo Meier mid-slot, but that's the whole point. Get the puck back out to the point. You've got those weapons like a Karlsson and a Burns. Just throw them back on net and see what happens. I think we need a nickname, by the way, for this trio of Dahlin, Weatherby, and Eklund. And I know Burns has already tabbed Eklund as the gecko. Got the reptilian theme. But that trio needs a name. It's not to put a lot of pressure or too much pressure on them. I understand it's hard. It's hard to make this league. It's hard to make a roster at 19 like Eklund is. It's even harder to stick. There's no doubt about it. But when they have this start, when they keep showing you things, what a huge area this could be for the Sharks if it gets taken care of. If the youth this year can settle in and contribute. That was something they banked on for the last couple years, and it just didn't happen. And because of it, I think the overall team, picture and goal changed and couldn't get there. Timo Meier, another. See, there's so many things to consider here. I keep score. I do a little game log here, but Timo Meier had 8 shots on goal in the opener. Had another 7 tonight. You love to see it. I think the Sharks had a total of 25. I should have wrote that down. I normally do. He took more than a quarter of the team's shots tonight. It's fantastic. I mean, I love to see the young guys contribute, but I also like to see players such as Karlsson, such as Timo Meier, who have, been criticized, who have faced a little bit of adversity. You also, have seen their track record. You know what they're capable of. For them to start the season this way, again, so critical, so important. And I'm so upset because for whatever reason, the live chat just does not want to work. Is it a loose wire? Should I try and do a little technical adjustment here on the fly? Let me see here. Come on, computer. For whatever reason, it's just not popping back up. You guys like the GoPro angle, by the way? Yeah, I can see there's tons of good comments in the chat here. And unfortunately, I normally like to put them on the screen. I'm just not going to be able to do that here tonight. So about 10 minutes is all I was hoping to do here. I really appreciate everybody for tuning in. I'm going to do a lot more of these as the season progresses. And yeah, the best part I was hoping for was questions, comments, all at the end, kind of run through some of those, but I apologize for the difficulties. So how about that? The Sharks 2-0 this year. They go into Montreal. They face the team that was in the Stanley Cup final last year, and they beat them 5-0. 2 or fewer. 0 is fewer than 2. Montreal's now 0-4. Sharks are 2-0. Got a lot of good things going for them. I see some comments here about Calder stuff. I don't want to go there yet. In fact, I don't even want to be too superstitious about, like Randy Hahn said, what was tonight, the 10th win in a row by the Sharks over Montreal? Was it their 6th in a row at Bell Center? You got Ottawa next, you got Toronto after that, you got Boston, and you got Nashville. You got some heavy opponents. You got a difficult road ahead. But again, 4 weeks ago, 2 months ago, who would have thought the Sharks would start their season like this? I'm so excited, but more importantly, I'm so encouraged. Thanks for tuning in. See you next time.